For example, last set we saw people play the water EX version, which is what Okimoto won Texas ReRaise with, and that deck had a lot of EX bursts. It played Thornton and Titus and Fusoya, so I had extra consistency because you could search your backups with Thornton, as well as having a lot of EX bursts to just kind of steal the game. It looks like Pierre just played Lexa into Madame Edel into Vespia to draw 2. So they are just drawing 2. Yeah. Is it an audio issue or we can change it? All right. I think it's fine. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. What did Kelly do? He played Luca for turn, which powers up all his story members, and then passed. Pierre attacked, hit an EX burst Thornton, which lets Kelly search for any card in his deck. So Kelly here chose Elvis because Elvis does 3K per story member, and Kelly already has 2 on board. So as soon as Elvis enters, it'll do a 9K. Do we get player count? We got 70 players today, so it'll be 7 rounds cut to top 6. All right, so Kelly has more cards in hand, but he's kind of behind on board state. He has to make sure he starts answering these forwards. Otherwise, he's just gonna be put in a position where if he's at 6 damage, Susano could potentially, just kill him, or he could just get slowly chipped down. So he wants to work on whittling the board. Albus targets Madame Edel because Madame Edel protects the other Soria members from ability and summon damage. So he has to kill Edel first in order to, do other stuff like Merald, Vesvia. Obviously, the risk is he can just replay Madame Edel again, which is coincidentally what this Q just does right now. He gets a free Edel back. So it's pretty clear that Pierre's in the driver's seat right now. He has more cards in hand. He has board control. So he kind of has 2 options here. He can lay out more backups, or he can just try to kill Kelly with his additional tempo. Another thing is Kelly has a Luca, which gives all his FFB characters plus 1K. So technically, they're almost always bigger, unless Pierre uses the Lexa to pump. So I think Pierre is opting to play forwards and kill Kelly. So we Meralded to kill Kelly's Merald. We're not scared of a Madame Edel being played to get the Merald back. So could be a Mist Dragon in his hand, maybe, or an Amat in his hand, such that he's just not scared. Okay, so we can see Kelly drew a Madame Edel and hit a Remora. So Remora does minus 2K power per card in hand. It also allows you to draw a card before the power reduction resolves. So it was a little unfortunate that Kelly was not actually able to kill a story member for free. But he did get to draw a card off the EX, which is always nice, especially when you're kind of losing at the moment. So here's the Edel. We are targeting Merald, which resolves. We're killing Madame Edel. So right now, Kelly here has a choice of whether to actually attack or not. I think there's okay. He chose not to attack because the risk of hitting an EX burst is pretty disastrous. For example, if he hits Tyro or Fusith, just fighting Madame Metal again. So here we're kind of forcing Pierre to rebuild the board. How's Pierre? Is Pierre gonna answer this? Okay, he plays Elvis. Just will kill Madame Metal. Goes away. Now, can he answer this Merald, or is he going to be forced to trade? So we can see a Titan in hand, an Edel in hand. Titan obviously lets us go to 5 damage. I think that's what we're choosing to go with. Titan, which is a one-sided fight. It gives plus 2k to your forward, and then you do one-sided damage. So see, Vestia will be a 10k, dealing damage to Morale, which is an 8k, which kills it. Damage to Sith. Probably get Madame Metal here. Oh, Shadow Lord. Interesting. Shadow Lord's an interesting choice because you can actually play it. If you can play it if your opponent has 3 or more job name of the same thing, but you also take a point of damage. So I guess Pierre didn't have enough cards to play another member of the Soiree, but like Shadow Lord can kill your own board, as well as can potentially inflict you a point of damage. So I think Kelly has to play Shadow Lord here. He waits a turn, he will not be able to play it without killing his own guys, or potentially taking a 6 point of damage, which I don't think he wants to do. I think what Kelly really wishes he had in hand, don't know what's in hand, is he can play Shadow Lord here and leave up Elvis plus an Amaterasu in his hand to counter anything that Pierre can do on his turn. So here Kelly's doing his due diligence. He's checking his opponent's break zone, making sure or calculating how many Madame Medals on the board. I think he's going to commit to killing some forwards, but he doesn't necessarily want to risk his opponent, playing Madame Medal again and bringing it back for free. So we discard 2 backups here. Leave up the Fire CP to threaten the Madaras. We're going to name Job member of the Soiree. And we're going to hold up Madame Edel in our hands, as well as a Titus. So Shadow Lord here is a 10k dark card because he has the damage 5 text, plus 1k brave, becomes dark. Yeah. I think worst case is a Madame Metal for Merald here. Worst case. Let's see if Kelly has the answer. He does not. He's gonna kill Shadow Lord. Deal Kelly a point of damage. Can we EX our way out of this? Okay. So I think now for Kelly, we're very concerned about Susano. Susano can potentially kill our board if we don't have Madame Metal. and then go for the 6 point of damage. So kind of have to play around that if we can. Sometimes we just can't. Out of metal. Target. Marl, kill Fizzle. Discard Remora. Tidus. So Tidus lets us bounce it back up. And once we bounce it back up, we can bounce it forward. Forget if it's mandatory, but I assume it's mandatory. So he bounces on Tidus again. Now he discards Elvis to play Elvis again. And opting not to attack, in case of a haster to avoid losing. Still looking very scary for Kelly. Just the story mirror, right? It's pretty. You both know about 60 to 70% of your opponent's deck. You have to do your best to play around it. So far, we have seen no Mist Dragon or Matarasu from either side. These are pretty common cards that I would say the deck runs. So they may come up later, or maybe they don't have it in their deck. We'll see. The way Pierre is playing makes me think he is lethal because he looks like he's counting, doing mental math, seeing if can he play everything. Good. Discard 2 for Matoya to break all forwards. I think we need to call a judge here. I'm pretty sure Matoya is one Earth. Yeah. Did we have enough Earth? Oh no, we did. We did. I think we did. Sorry, that was a false alarm. No, no, I think it was good, David. It was good. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so Kelly plays Arciela. This lets you remove a summon on entry and attack and give plus 3k, or give a counter to Arciela. And then Arciela can use the counter to pump a forward until end of turn by 3k. This is really strong on entry and attack because basically means you can't lose combat, especially in this like kind of mirror. You're both just kind of playing guys and attacking. The Sorays don't generate value once they stay on the board. They're not like cards like Robel, Akbel, or Orphan, or Bismarck, where if you leave them on the board, they get more problematic. They generate more value by drawing cards, discarding cards, or whatnot. So Arceal is really valuable. It turns your 8Ks into 11Ks. Basically means you can never lose combat. Hey Mohammed, this is round 1. First round. Discard Chantoto. So one of the other weaknesses of Soray generally is there are no breakable backups unless you bounce it with Tidus or Susanoo Sacrifice. So we discard the Chantoto because it's basically dead. Playing Morale to kill Arciela. Don't really know if there's anything we can do about this here. We can Amaterasu, or we can use the counter. We should definitely use the counter because it's free to use. But we'll see what happens. Let's see, how many cards does Pierre have? He has 2 cards. So we're going to cast Amaterasu, deal 8k. Yeah, the counter won't stop it, but we probably still want to put the counter on Merald. So Merald becomes an 11k and can block the other Merald. Potentially, or anything weird that, like, you should always use the counter just because it's free on another forward. So we're discarding Fasoya to play Madametal. Madametal will replay Merald. Kill Arceala again. Pump. Okay. So now he can't attack in because he has Luca and he has the Arceala pump. So yep. Kelly's gesturing, he's like, yep, that's plus 1k, plus 3k. So one thing about the story mirror too is because Kelly took a lot of damage, he actually kind of runs the risk eventually of decking out before his opponent. Both decks actually do quite a large amount of searching. And depending on your deck configuration, EXs will draw, like for example, there's a Remora, there's a Thornton, as well as Vesvia drawing 2 general. So like amount of like deck is a consideration in this matchup. So we have to make sure eventually we're gonna have to attack. And eventually we might just lose to an 8. But that's just the risk we're gonna have to take if we're on Kelly's side. So let's see what Kelly does here. I think he has to kill Edel no matter what, if he can. We can see he has a Q-Sip here and a Tyro. Probably thinking if he can Q-Sip what he wants to get. I think he's eyeing Titus because he can bounce Elvis and replay it. He can't really play Madame Adele right now because he doesn't have anything to bring back. So he's going to choose this Titus, leaving up the Water CB to play it. Discard, play Titus. We're going to bounce Elvis here. Question is, what forward do we bounce? We definitely cannot bounce Madame Adele. That's kind of strong. We just like set ourselves back 1 turn if we did that. Approximately 10 minutes left in the room. So we bounce the Elvis, thinking pretty carefully on what we want to hit here, what to bounce. The high risk play is to bounce one of our own forwards. I don't really think we can afford to do that because if Pierre draws any removal and kills our last board, he's gonna go in for the last point of damage. So I think we have to bounce his Merald, except that Merald's coming down and killing our Merald back. So we bounce Merald. Yes. Okay. I don't. Okay, so it's a Mist Dragon, so we know Mist Dragon turns off Madame Huddle. And I think that's an Elvis, so Pierre's probably just gonna play Merald, kill the Merald, and swing. Oh no, we're casting Mist Dragon to RFG Kelly's bin and dig 1 card deeper. So we're hoping to draw gas, basically. What did he draw? Did we draw gas? I think we drew gas. Vesvia, draw 2. Pretty good. Now we can pass here, or we can just play and try to keep on the pressure by playing Merald. If we apply the pressure, we're basically telling hey, Kelly, you better top deck something good, dude, or you're gonna die. So we're discarding 2 cards. 2 pretty good, like Irwin's pretty good card. So I remember. We have to kill the Kelly's Merald because it's plus 1k from the Luca. Oh, that's an amazing top deck. Amazing top deck. So we top deck the Vesper, so we can shot 2. Pot of Greed. So Kelly's other card is Irwin. So Irwin discards your opponent one card. The problem is Pierre has no cards in hand. So Kelly was considering like, hey, do I want to discard this Irwin to play my Vesvia? Because there's a chance he draws a summon that actually requires the backup typing or color. But I think he decided that, hey, no, it's actually just safer. I should just play my AK to win. And I think Kelly's actually dead here. Pierre Chikusith, he can Madam Edel a Merald, and then use the Lexa to pump the Merald haste trade, and then swing over with Vesvia for the win. Looks like a well played game by Pierre. Gonna take it. Block. Oh, oh, he's 9K. Oh, that was a mistake. We could have Lexa pumped. Okay, Kelly's still in the game. We got a little too excited. Fortunately, I think we're still there. So arrays are mostly in even cost deck. So when he casts that Misdragon to dig, basically needs to have a 4 CP to play anything he draws. And you can see that Kelly drew Kisith, no chance of playing anything. That's going to be game 4 here. 6 minutes left in round. I'll see if I can get some more results. Hot off the press, I've heard Alex Hancock's, who has flown from the UK, has come over here and won his round 1, bowling us NA players. Brian Berkeley has also won round 1. Try to get more results. Chris Neal also won a mirror. I can see Kyle Peters is still playing. If anyone in the chat has someone they want to check up on, you know, I can try to get the results for you. But I'm not gonna lie, I had some sick even though Alex is my friend, I kind of wanted him to kind of just come to America and lose a lot. But good for him for winning round 1. Emmanuel from Arizona won. Matthew Okimoto won round 1. Irving won? Irving did. He's right there. All right, Irving got Dragoons. Irving Diaz from Florida.
I got Goon. I let it play take. I mean, I could have fucking destroyed him.
That's okay. He's gonna have a great time regardless. There were there's plenty of drinks next to us, you know, if you know what I mean.
Like, one edge death and I would have won the game.
And I expected it from Austin too. So I come and try to make up my gross see a little better because first I'm working with very small.
I heard there's a lot of soirees in the room, as some Kingsglaives. Ninjas.
Stream on your end.
It's good. People are engaging. Yeah. There's also a liquor store next to us that sells water as well. I saw Kelly. Unfortunate.
I need forwards, man. Where are they?
Yes. Like we're winding down round one. We're getting kind of close. 2 minutes left. So for people who at home who can't actually see the venue, there's half of it. We have like a giant party tent rented out. So there's a bunch of tables outside, as well as a room inside holding about 30-ish players, 40-ish. So as far as I can see, most people outside are done. We'll be taking a short break before round two, or at least I'll be taking a short break.